Hi, and welcome to this tutorial. Today I'm going to focus on 4 steps that will help you prepare and present excellent presentations every time, whether they be at interview or professionally. So step 1 is you must prepare. So what we mean by preparation or prepare is, what do you want your audience to do? Preparation is all about the audience. So are you selling them something? If it's in an interview, obviously you're going to be selling yourself. Are you informing them of a change in policy or procedure? Are you trying to get them to agree with you? Is it a petition, or are you following a campaign? You need to understand, as I say, who your audience are. So what is the knowledge of the subject, or their knowledge of the subject you are presenting? For example, if you're presenting something technical or complex, will they understand it? So many presentations fall down or don't really achieve their objectives because it goes straight over the audience's head, meaning that they don't actually understand what you're talking about. Another point to make is how many people are going to be at the presentation. This will help you prepare the correct number of handouts, but it also allows you to prepare mentally. There's nothing worse than walking into a room and expecting to present for 3 people when there's actually 10 in the room. So really important, just to recap a couple of these key points, is know who your audience are, know how many people are going to be actually in the audience, and do they understand what it is that you're talking about. You also need to be aware of language, and what this means is, if they're not a native speaker of your language and you speak fast, the chances are they're not going to understand. So be careful with your use of slang words or regional dialects, and make sure you have someone who's going to be in the audience who understands more about what it is that you're trying to discuss. So again, it's all about preparation. Be aware of cultural differences. So for example, if you're going to use slides or certain images or videos, make sure there's no embarrassing mistakes or there's images that can cause offense to anybody in the audience. So make sure you're aware of all these key points. Also, as part of your preparation, you need to understand what information the audience needs to actually make a decision, especially if you're trying to sell something such as yourself or a product. So if you're trying to sell yourself at interview, you need to understand what skills or what environments or what actual traits the employer wants. And it's the same if you're trying to sell a product or service. Why do these people actually want to buy this particular product? Which also leads on to the compelling event. Why does this person need to make a decision now? And again, this is a key question that you need to understand before you create your presentation. Otherwise, you'll just be wasting your time. So, just to recap that section, it's to understand what information your audience needs to make a decision. So it's a great question, and it allows you to collate some really key points. So also, you need to understand how audiences like to be communicated with. So for example, some people like facts and figures and the detail, other people like stories and metaphors, other people like straightforward question and answer sessions in order to make a decision. So you need to be aware, again, who's going to be in that audience, but how they like to be communicated with. Now this may seem quite difficult, or it might seem quite labor intensive, but this is what the best presenters do, is they actually do the research and they gather the information that they need before they create the presentation. Now, where this is a benefit to you is that if you start asking the questions, if you start looking for the information, you look professional in the eyes of the people who are going to be in the audience. So whether that be that you're selling something or whether it be yourself at an interview, you look professional. Second, and most important, is it will give you peace of mind. When you've applied yourself and you've covered all the questions, you know in your own mind that you could not have done any better. Sometimes you don't win. Sometimes there may be a competitor that simply has a better product or service. Sometimes your personality may not fit with those you're presenting to. But as long as you prepared well, you're halfway there.